Hi guys, EBPMAN here with Tablets for Me. We're going to take a look at the camera features on the LG V10. Let's take a look. Now LG has really invested in improving the camera quality, not only just the camera itself, but also the software and the interactivity that comes with using a camera. As we mentioned during the unboxing, the V10 has a 16 megapixel rear facing camera and a 5 megapixel dual facing camera. But they didn't stop there. They didn't just stop with having good cameras and also being creative with the dual camera lenses. They also focused a lot on the camera software. The V10 has, I would say, one of the most flexible yet advanced camera software solutions of any phone on the market today. So what I'd like to do is just show you some of the quality of the photos that I've taken throughout the day to kind of highlight how good this camera is. I've also tweeted these pictures, so if you'd like to see the pictures on your PC or on your smartphone or tablet, just look for me on Twitter under Tablets for Me. So let's take a look at some of the pictures I've taken, and then we'll review the camera app so you can see what I'm talking about. So here's the first photo I took with the camera. Just want to show you the overall quality, so we'll go ahead and zoom in so you can see the actual detail. Really nice detail here of this scarecrow, and that's just a close-up. I really didn't use digital zoom. I just took a picture and I was a little closer to it. Here is a further, I would say I was further away from the scarecrow when I took the picture, and if I go closer to it, you can see once again the amount of detail that's coming in here and just the overall quality of the photo. It's really nicely done. I think that the V10 really makes the photo pop. Here's another photo. Now here in the Midwest we're starting to see fall, so a lot of our plants are starting to die, but you know, here is a flower that I just took a picture of outside, and you can see all the detail of the flower. If we move forward, here's another view of the same flower bush, and again you can see how you're having the I would say the blurry effect on the side, and then you actually see the detail of the flower, and even you can see the water right here. Look at this reflection of the water, how nice that is. So fantastic image. Here's another just green photo. We'll skip on that one. That one's not too exciting. Here's another really nice one. So you can see all the flowers starting to die because of the weather here. It's getting a little cold. But here you can see the actual detail and the quality of this flower. Nice quality. And notice as I zoom in how much detail I'm able to pick up with the camera. And again, this is with the auto setting, so I'm really not manipulating it in any way. We'll skip on to this one. Here's another nice one. Look at the detail that you have right here. Really nice of this flower. You would have thought that this picture was taken with a DSLR. That's how nice this is. We'll skip a couple one and we'll move on to this one. Okay, and here once again you can see how much detail and color is coming from the camera. So absolutely fantastic camera. Really LG hit it out of the park when it came to the software and the camera quality, and the camera is fast, very fast. Both for selfie pics and also front-facing pics, it's incredibly fast. And I'm going to show you how fast the camera is as we take some pictures here in my office studio. And we'll also go over the camera settings so you can see all the different features that you have, not just for taking pictures, but now they've even improved how you take videos. Let's check it out. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the camera settings themselves. First of all, you do have a simple mode, and the simple mode is for those of you who just want to take a picture really quick. So here I have a little statuette of Beauty and the Beast. I just want to show you just by tapping how fast this camera is. That's it. That's all it takes. Now you do have simple, kind of eliminates everything that's going on the screen. You do have an auto mode, and the auto mode gives you some more flexibility. So what you have the ability to do is really change modes, and there are several modes that you have here. You have a multi-view mode, which is going to show the two cameras that you have here are going to turn on, so I would see myself, and then what you'll see is the subject that I'm looking to take a picture of right now. You also have the ability to do slow-mo and time-lapse photography, panorama mode, and also as we look at some of the other features that we have here, you have the ability to flip the camera. So literally to flip, I'll just put it here in an angle so you can see, all you do is swipe up and the camera will switch. Look at how nice that feature is. So really, while you could push this button, all you have to do is swipe back and forth. Taking a picture is as simple as just pressing that button. We're going to try it with the auto mode so you can see how quick that is. See how fast that was? Really fast photo. And as soon as you take a photo, you have the ability with these icons that are right here, is if I tap on this, to share this photo to any of these I would say social media options that you have installed on the phone, which is also really nice because that's a very thoughtful feature, because most of us, when we take a picture, it's to share it. So I like how they've integrated the workflow into that process. Now, another option, straightforward, you can turn on your flash or turn it off. We're not going to go into that. The manual mode, though, is where all the magic happens. This probably is one of the most flexible, most sophisticated, and powerful applications that I've seen to date. And we've reviewed on the channel the Samsung Galaxy Note 5, which by all means is a great camera, but the manual mode doesn't come close to some of the capabilities you have here. You'll notice that as I tilt around, my crosshairs stay on the item, balancing things out. But what you do have is you have the ability to control the white balance. So again, very similar to what you would have on a high-end DSLR, and you can adjust. And you notice how the picture in real time is adjusting based on my white balance settings. So I can adjust my white balance settings to whatever kind of mode or appearance I'd like to see, whatever I want to make sure that pops out. I also then have the ability to adjust my focus. Here is I will get out of the white balance now. We'll see if we can't select that guy right there yet. We also have here another setting, ISO, and with your ISO you can also modify that real time, and you're seeing the effect happen immediately. And this is great because I can tell you there's a lot of people that are afraid of going into the camera settings because they don't know what it's going to look like. And here you can experiment with a subject and actually in real time see what it's going to look like and lose the fear of manipulating your camera settings because you get that feedback. You also have the ability to look at other features here, which we're going to take a look at in a second. But before we do that, I wanted to highlight what's happening on the top. You notice that all your settings, all the feedback that you're getting up here, you see that up there, of everything that's happening as you modify any of these settings. So really nice feedback that makes, I would say, using manual camera modes or demystifies the using of the manual camera modes, which many of us are afraid to use. Here you see taking photos. You can take photos in RAW or JPEG, and taking photos in RAW mode is really going to give whoever is using the photo the maximum flexibility when it comes to manipulating that file. So if you're an average consumer user, you'd probably go JPEG. But if you're someone who is a prosumer or a professional and wants to be able to manipulate that photo after you took the picture, then definitely going into the JPEG RAW is the way to go. The other thing that you have, and we'll just go back to auto just for a second. You also have some really nice zoom flexibility. So you notice how I'm going into the little statuette there. I can zoom in and I can zoom out nicely. So going back to manual mode, again, you have a lot of flexibility when it comes to your controls of the things that you can actually manipulate just doing that real time. The video capabilities are as well have increased, and just wanted to highlight a couple things. Well, you do have some of the same settings right here where you can adjust your brightness, so you can see how much is going in right there. So I am really manipulating these settings nicely, and it's just switching. I'm going to go back to another setting here that I really like, and I find that this is great, especially if you are taking a video at a wedding or at a party. You can control the mic's direction. So if I want to hear myself and less of the person who's in front of me, I just swipe down like this. And if I want to pick up the person that is in front of me and not so much the noise behind me, you can control the mics. And you can see at the very top the mics, the left and right mic is you can see how it's really performing right now based on this recording. You also have the ability to adjust the gain. So you can increase the gain, and notice by increasing the gain how I'm going into yellow and red. So I can reduce this a little bit so that I can control it so it doesn't sound like I'm screaming on the video. I can move it up just a little bit so I can barely get to that yellow mode, and you'll notice that that's coming out rather nicely. You also have the ability to turn on a wind filter. So let me bring that, make sure you can see that. A wind filter. So this is a digital wind filter that gets turned turned on. And again, as more and more of us are using our phones as our way to capture memories, this is also going to allow you to have a very nice, clean video. You have the ability also to deal with steady shot to really help motion blur. So if you do run into a problem where you shake a lot, or just as you zoom in, what it tends to happen is when you zoom in, you start to move, or the shakiness of your hand is really present. So if you turn on that steady state, so that's it's off. If I turn it on, it should help my recording so that my hands don't bounce that much. But once again, you do have the same exact controls that you have with the camera. You have them available here as well. So all those controls are available for you to manipulate when it comes to your video. You have other settings here, and this is another area that I found that is pretty interesting. We're going to get into, here it is. So as I look at the camera here, you'll notice that you have cinema mode. You also have cinema mode, and you have two types of cinema modes here. And this is something that I have not seen in any other camera. So when you switch to cinema mode, the way you'll notice here that the video now, notice how it's cutting off on the top and on the bottom. It's giving you that tight look that you see when you go to the movies or you're watching a professionally taken movie. You also have a higher FPS. So you'll notice that you have 30, 24, 2, 1, or even 60 there. You have your bit rate. You can manipulate that as well and modify that to whatever you'd like. The grid, as I have on, or turn it off. Timer as well. So a lot of flexibility when it comes to your recorder, and again, giving you the ultimate control. You also have the ability to work with 3-second videos. So you can press and hold a video and record as I'm doing now, and once I let go, it's going to create a segment, and I can continue to press another 3 seconds. And as I'm doing that, I could also adjust my zoom. You notice how I have these controls here that are giving me some really nice smooth capabilities. Reduce it, continue to record. So this is great, like if you want to create a little collage of short videos, or if you're recording someone at a party or at a wedding, you can do your recordings. And then when you go back to play it, you're going to be able to get just a playback of that experience. So you can see that right here. So I'll hit play and play it again. Now you can't hear what's going on, but it's actually my voice coming up in the background, and you can see the video capabilities just zooming in and zooming out as we did during that recording. I'm going to try to do some outdoor shots with the camera because it really doesn't do it justice just being here in the house and just shooting. But I just wanted to give you a preview of the video capabilities. And once again, all these video capabilities really are social, so you can share what you record in real time. Also keep in mind that one of the things that sets the V10 apart from the other phones is that it has a SD card for storage, so up to 2 terabytes. So if you get a 128 gig card and you're using your V10 to shoot some video, some pictures, you really have a lot of flexibility without having to worry about running out of space. 64 gig on board, and then you have the 128 that you can get that's available now, and those cards are pretty reasonable in cost. You can get a 64 gig card if that's something that is more within your budget, but you have all of those those controls and flexibility. And here, as you can see, I can go through, I can go into any of these, and it's actually playing right now. So I can move around, tap, and actually listen to what's playing in that specific moment. And as I'm in that moment, you'll notice something else I can do. I have the ability to delete a segment. So if you're taping someone playing basketball, football, or any kind of event, you can say, you know what, that segment, I don't really care for it, so you delete it, and you can continue to review before you actually save it. So lots of flexibility as well. So I hope this video helps you understand some of the capabilities that are with this camera. You're able to see the actual photos and me playing around with some of the video settings. I am not in any way a professional photographer, so there are going to be other people that are better well suited to talk about all these capabilities. But as you can see, as someone if you are a consumer who is afraid to go into the settings and use those settings because you just don't know what it's going to look like, this phone gives you that power to see the impact of your camera settings in real time, and it really takes away the fear of going into a manual mode adjustment. So if you have any further questions, please leave it on the YouTube channel. I will continue to post videos and impressions of the V10 as I continue to explore some of the features. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share, and thanks for watching.